Good morning, everyone. My name is Ritika from BSc Chemistry Honors Final Year. Today, our topic is fats, oils, and detergents of Organic Chemistry from Pradeep publication by Dr. S.N. Dhawan. Introduction. Oils and fats are widely distributed in nature, both in animal and plant kingdoms. In animals, they are present under the skin and in muscles, but in plants, they are mainly found in the seeds. Some important examples of fats are butter, lard, tallow, beef, etc., while groundnut oil, cottonseed oil, olive oil, palm oil, coconut oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, linseed oil, sesame oil, etc. are important examples of vegetable oils. Fats and oils are one of the three major constituents of our food, the other two being carbohydrates and proteins. In fact, fat and oils serve as energy reservoirs for the animals. In human beings, only a few hundred grams of glycogen can be stored, which can barely supply the body's energy need for about 12 to 18 hours. In contrast, large amount of fat can be stored which can supply the body's energy needs for about 8 weeks. Beside this, oil and fat serve as raw material for a number of industries such as soap, paints, varnishes and vanaspati ghee etc. Natural fats, the fats obtained from animal sources such as butter, lard from hogs, and tallow from sheep, goats, etc., are called natural fats. This name is simply given to differentiate these fats from those fats which are obtained by hydrogenation of oils. Edible and non edible oils. Oils such as groundnut oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, rapeseed or mustard oil, olive oil, sesame oil, which are used for cooking purposes, are called edible oils, while oils such as cottonseed oil, linseed oil, castor seed oil, and mahua oil, which are used in soap, paints, varnishes, and lacquer industries, are called non edible oils or industrial oils. On the basis of iodine values, oils have also been classified as drying, semi-drying and non-drying oils. Industrial oils may include essential oils or mineral oils. Essential oils such as rose oil, jasmine oil, lavender oil, eucalyptus oil, peppermint oil, etc. are volatile oils isolated from plants. Essential oils may be hydrocarbons, alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, esters, etc. For example, peppermint oil contains menthol as its chief constituent. Essential oils are mainly used in perfumes, cosmetics, and in pharmaceutical products. On other hand, mineral oils is a mixture of a saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons and not esters or triglycerides. They cannot be saponified. They are called oils simply because of their physical appearance. They are non-edible and are mainly used as fuels. Triglycerides composition of oils and fats. As stated above, fats and oils are triesters of glycerol with higher aliphatic monocarboxylic acid. In other words, they are triglycerols and are commonly known as glycerides. Fats and oils may be represented by the general formula, where R, R dash and R dash dash may be same or different alkyl groups. Fatty acids. With only a few exceptions, all the monocarboxylic acids isolated from fats and oils are straight chain compounds containing 3 to 18 carbon atoms. Further, with the exceptions of only C3 and C5 acids. All other acids found in fats and oils contain even number of carbon atoms. The chief saturated fatty acids present in oils and fats are uric acid, myristic acid, palmitic acid, and stearic acid. Besides saturated fatty acids, unsaturated fatty acids containing one or more double bonds in cis orientation may also be present in oils and fats. The chief unsaturated fatty acids present in oil and fats are oleic acid, linoleic acid. Linolenic acids. Classification of glycerides. The three fatty acids in glycerides may be same or different. Therefore, glycerides are classified as simple or mixed glycerides according as they have the same or different acid residue. Glycerides are further classified into saturated and unsaturated glycerides according as they contain saturated fatty acids residues or unsaturated fatty acid residues. For example, tristyrene or triolene. Both simple and mixed glycerides are found in natural oils and fats. In fact, oils and fats are complex mixture of mixed glycerides along with small amounts of simple glycerides. Chemical difference between oils and fats. The main difference between oils and fats is the proportion of saturated and unsaturated glycerides. Triglycerides with higher proportions of saturated acid residues such as palmitic acid, stearic acid are solids at ordinary temperature and are called fats, while those with higher proportions of unsaturated acid residues such as oleic acid, linoleic acid, etc. are liquids at ordinary temperature and are called oils. Melting point of glycerides. As stated above, fatty acids have one or more double bonds having less stable cis stereochemistry. For example, oleic acid has one cis double bond at C9. Linoleic acid has two double bonds at C9 and C12, while linolenic acid has three cis double bonds at C9, C12, and C15 positions. The cis double bonds have vital biological importance. In the solid state, the molecules of saturated fatty acids fit closely in the crystal lattice due to their zigzag tetrahedral structures. On the other hand, cis unsaturated fatty acids have a bend at the double bond and hence do not fit closely, thereby having their melting points. Chemical properties. Fats and oils, being triesters of glycerols, show all the reactions of simple esters. In case the glyceride contain unsaturated fatty acid residues, they also show the usual addition and oxidation reactions of alkenes. Some important reaction of fats and oils are given below. First is hydrolysis. Fats and oils are readily hydrolyzed by treatment with superheated steam, mineral acids or alkalis. Hydrolysis by superheated steam or mineral acids gives a mixture of fatty acid and glycerol. However, when the hydrolysis is carried out by alkalis, glycerol and salt of fatty acids are formed. Since the salt of higher fatty acid thus formed are used as soaps, the alkaline hydrolysis is commonly called saponification. In the digestive system of human beings and animals, fats and oils are hydrolyzed to glycerol and fatty acid by a number of enzymes called lipase. Second is hydrogenation. Oils which contain a higher proportion of unsaturated glycerides add on hydrogen in the presence of finely divided nickel as catalyst to form solid fat. This process is called hydrogenation or hardening of oils. It is similar to catalytic hydrogenation of alkenes and involves the reduction of double bonds present in unsaturated glycerides to form saturated glycerides. This process is extensively used for the manufacture of vanaspati ghee from groundnut, peanut, sunflower, and other edible oils. Hydrogenation is never carried out to completion but is stopped as soon as the fat of consistency comparable to ghee is obtained. The completely hydrogenated fats are too hard to be useful as kitchen shortenings. The main advantage of hydrogenation is that as compared to oils, fats have better storage qualities and do not become rancid or easily. Third one is hydrogenolysis. Conversion to alcohols, fats and oils on treatment with hydrogen at high temperature and pressure and in presence of copper chromite as catalyst undergo reductive cleavage to form glycerol and long chain aliphatic alcohols. The splitting of a fat or an oil to glycerol and a higher long chain alcohol by hydrogen is called hydrogenolysis. The long chain alcohols thus produced are used for the manufacture of synthetic detergents. Fourth one is transesterification. Fats and oils can be converted into simple esters of carboxylic acids such as methyl, ethyl esters, etc. by transesterification. It involves the treatment of a fat or an oil with a large excess of a suitable alcohol in presence of acidic or basic catalyst. The process of transesterification is quite useful for the large scale preparation of long chain fatty acids and long chain primary alcohols of high purity. For this purpose, the mixture of methyl esters obtained by transesterification is subjected to fractional distillation to separate the individual esters. This upon hydrolysis yield fatty acids of high purity. Alternatively, the individual methyl esters are reduced to get long chain primary alcohols. Addition of halogens. Like alkenes, unsaturated glycerides add halogens across the double bond to form addition products. The addition of iodine is usually carried out by treating the fat or the oil with iodine in presence of mercury chloride as catalyst. Since the amount of iodine used is proportional to the number of double bonds present, therefore this reaction is used for determination of extent of unsaturation in a given fat or the oil. Sixth is rancidity. When fats and oils are exposed to warm air and moisture for a long time, they develop a disagreeable smell and taste. This process is called rancidity and involves the hydrolysis of esters to produce fatty acids and oxidation at double bond to form short chain acid and aldehydes. These short chain acids and aldehydes are volatile and have offensive smells. Therefore, they impact unpleasant odors to oils and fats. Rancidity is of the following two types. First is hydrolytic rancidity. This type of rancidity is caused by the liberation of lower fatty acids by hydrolysis of triglycerides. For example, when butter is exposed to warm air and moisture, the hydrolysis of the glyceride in butter yield butyric acid and other volatile acids with unpleasant odors. This process of hydrolysis is catalyzed by enzymes which are provided by the microorganism present in air. This type of hydrolytic rancidity can, however, be checked by keeping the butter covered in a refrigerator. Second is oxidative rancidity. This type of rancidity is caused by oxidation of the unsaturated triglycerides by air to form short chain acids and aldehydes having unpleasant smell. It is believed that first the ester linkages are hydrolyzed to yield unsaturated acids which undergo oxidation at the site of double bonds to produce short chain acid and aldehydes. Oxidative rancidity can be prevented by the addition of certain chemicals called antioxidants. The two antioxidants which occur in the natural fats are vitamin C and vitamin E. Analysis of fats and oils. Fats and oils are extensively used in a number of industries. Therefore, it is essential to check the quality of a given fat or an oil. This involves the determination of physical constant such as melting point, specific gravity, refractive index, etc., and chemical constants such as acid value, iodine value, saponification value, Richard Missel value, etc. Some important chemical constants are described below. First is acid value. It is defined as the number of milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to neutralize the free fatty acids present in 1 gram of a fat or an oil. The acid value is determined by dissolving a known weight of the given fat or the oil in pure neutral alcohol and titrating against standard QS solution. using phenolphthalein as indicator. The acid value is a measure of free acids present in a given fat or oil. A high acid value indicates that the given sample of the fat or oil is quite old and has become rancid. Second is saponification value. It is defined as the number of milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to completely saponify 1 gram of the fat or oil. In other words, it represents the amount of potassium hydroxide in milligrams required to neutralize the fatty acids formed as a result of complete hydrolysis of 1 gram of the fat or oil. Saponification value is determined by refluxing a wave quantity of the fat or oil with a known excess of standard alcoholic potassium hydroxide solution and then titrating the unreacted alkali against a standard acid. For example, saponification values of trialeutrate and triplamethine can be determined as follows. From the equation, 1 mole of fat is 3 moles of KOH. Saponification value is 263.3 mg of KOH per gram of fat. Thus, the saponification value gives an idea about the molecular weight of the fat or the oil. Obviously, smaller the saponification value, higher is the molecular weight. For example, tripalmitin molecular weight is 806 has a saponification value of 208, whereas trialeutrate with molecular weight is 638 has a saponification value of 263. The saponification value also indicates the length of carbon chain of the acid moiety present in the oil and fat. The higher the saponification value, greater the percentage of short chain fatty acid in glycerides of the fat and oil. Butter with short chain fatty acids has saponification values between 210 to 230, whereas soybean oil has saponification values between 189 to 195. Saponification value is used to determine the adulteration of a fat or an oil with some other oil or fat with lower or higher saponification value, or even by some unsaponifiable matter. Third one is iodine value. It is defined as the number of grams of iodine that will combine with 100 gram of the fat or oil. Iodine value may be determined by any one of the following two methods. First, Hubble's method. In this method, a solution of a known weight of the fat or oil in CCl4 is allowed to react with a known excess of a standard solution of iodine in ethanol in presence of mercury chloride as catalyst. The unreacted iodine is then determined by titrating it against the standard sodium thiosulfate solution using starch as indicator. For example, the iodine value of trioluene may be calculated as follows. Second is Witt's method. In this method, a solution of the more reactive iodine monochloride in glacial acetic acid is used in place of iodine and mercury chloride. A known weight of the oil fat is dissolved in CHCl3, which solution is then added. ICI adds ICL adds across the double bond. The ICL left unused in the is then treated with Ki solution to liberate an equivalent amount of iodine. The liberated iodine is then titrated against standard hypo solution using starch as indicator. Fourth is Richard Missel value. It is defined as the number of milliliters of 0.1 NaOH required to neutralize the stream volatile fatty acids obtained by complete hydrolysis of 5 gram of the fat or oil. To determine the RM value, a known weight of the fat or oil is completely saponified with alkali. The resulting solution is acidified with dilute H2SO4 and then subjected to steam distillation. The distillate which contains the volatile acid is then titrated against 0.1 NaOH solution. RM value is a measure of the volatile fatty acid residues present in a given solution. It is highly useful for testing the purity of butter and desi ghee, which contain a relatively high proportion of glycerides, of butyric and other steam volatile acid residues. The RM value of adulterated butter is always lower than that of pure butter. Industrial oil or vegetable origin drying oils. Certain oils such as laced oil, tongue oil, perilla oil, etc., when exposed to air in thin layers, form hard and tough water insoluble solids. This process is known as drying, and such oils are called drying oils. Oils like olive oil, groundnut oil, etc., which do not dry on exposure to air, are called non-drying oils. And those which dry slowly, such as cottonseed oil, are called semi-drying oils. Chemically drying oils contain a high percentage of unsaturated glyceride as shown by their high iodine values. On the other hand, non-drying oils have low iodine value while semi-drying oils have intermediate iodine values. For example, drying oils have iodine value above 150, non-drying oils have iodine value less than 100, while semi-drying oils have intermediate iodine values. Unsaturated glycerides contain linoleic acid and linolenic acid as the unsaturated fatty acid residues. These acids contain 2 and 3 isolated double bonds respectively. In general, drying oils containing unsaturated glycerides with conjugated double bonds dry more rapidly than those containing isolated double bonds. Drying oils are used as a medium for paints, varnishes, and lacquers. In fact, paints are suspension of some pigments or the organic coloring matter in laced oil to which some turpentine oils has been added as a thinner. When these paints are applied on any wooden or iron surface in thin layers, they quickly dry up to form a tough organic film which protect the surface being painted. Mechanism. The actual process of drying does not simply involve removal of moisture or evaporation of solvent but involves complex changes. It is believed that the reactive allylic hydrogens present in unsaturated glycerides are first attacked by oxygen to form hydroperoxy compounds which then combine with the allylic hydrogen of the other glyceride molecules, forming peroxide bridges. The monomer molecules thus obtained subsequently undergo polymerization to form a tough network solid. The whole process is sketched below. Soaps. Substances like soaps and synthetic detergents which concentrate at the surface of the solution or interfaces from form surface films, reduce surface tension of the solution and help in removing dirt and dust by emulsifying grease are called surface active agents or surfactants. The molecule of a surfactant contains two characteristic groups, one of which is water soluble, hydrophilic, and other is oil soluble, which is lipophilic or lipophilic. Soaps are sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acids such as palmitic acid, stearic acid, and oleic acid. These soaps are generally obtained by the hydrolysis of oils and fats with aqueous alkalis. The process is called saponification of oils and fats. The fats and oils commonly used for soap manufacture are tallow, lard, olive oil, linseed oil, mahua oil, rapeseed oil, coconut oil, and palm oil. Soaps containing 12 to 18 chain atoms have good cleansing action. Soap with 12 carbon atoms are comparatively soluble in water, whereas soaps containing 18 to 22 carbon atoms are not useful as soaps because of their insolubility in water. Sodium soaps are generally hard and hence are called hard soaps. These are used for washing of clothes. Potassium soaps, on the other hand, are more expensive and produce a softer lather and hence are called soft soaps. They are used for making shaving creams, shampoos, liquid soaps, etc. Transparent soaps are prepared by dissolving ordinary soaps in alcohol and removing the insoluble part by filtration. Evaporation of alcohol leaves behind transparent mass. Soaps are 100% biodegradable. Microorganisms present in sewage water can completely oxidize soap into CO2. As a result, it does not create any pollution problems. However, soaps have two disadvantages. First is soaps cannot be used in hard water since calcium and magnesium ions present in hard water produce curdy white precipitates of calcium and magnesium soaps. Second is soaps cannot be used in acidic solutions since acids precipitate the insoluble free fatty acid which adhere to the fabrics and thus block the ability of soaps to remove oil and grease from fabrics. Synthetic detergents. These days, in place of soaps, the substances which are being largely used as cleansing action are agents are synthetic detergents. As the name suggests, they are obtained from purely synthetic chemicals as compared to soaps, which are derived from chemicals which are obtained from natural sources like oils and fats. In fact, synthetic detergents are sodium or potassium salts of long chain alkyl hydrogen sulfates or aryl sulfonic acids. Unlike soap, synthetic detergent can also be conveniently used even in hard water. This is due to the reason that calcium and magnesium salt of detergents like their sodium or potassium salts are also soluble in water. Hence, synthetic detergents do not form curdy white precipitate with hard water. Further, they can also be used in acidic solutions. However, synthetic detergents have one disadvantage. Unlike soaps, they are not completely biodegradable and hence cause water pollution. Synthetic detergents are of following three types. First is anionic detergents. These are so called because a large part of their molecules are anions. These are of two types, alkyl sulfates and alkyl benzene sulfonates. Alkyl sulfates they are obtained from long chain alcohols by treatment with concentrated H2SO4 followed by neutralization with NaOH. Some important examples of this type of detergents are sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium stearyl sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate is also called sodium dodecyl sulfate and is used in shampoos and cosmetics. These sodium alkyl sulfates are 100% biodegradable. These are also effective in slightly acidic solutions since they form an alkyl hydrogen sulfate, which is a soluble material, whereas soaps react with acidic solution to form insoluble fatty acids. Second, alkyl benzene sulfonates. These are obtained by conversion of benzene into long chain alkyl benzenes followed by sulfonation and neutralization with NaOH. The most widely used domestic detergent is the sodium p-N-diodicyl benzene sulfonate. It is prepared as follows. Alkyl benzene sulfonates in which the phenyl group is either attached to the end of the long alkyl chain or any other secondary position have high biodegradability and hence are called soft detergents, while alkyl benzene sulfonates having branched chain alkyl groups have poor biodegradability and hence are called hard detergents. To differentiate these detergents on the basis of biodegradability, alkyl benzene sulfonates having long straight chains such as sodium P-N dodecyl benzene sulfonate and sodium 2-dodecyl benzene sulfonate are called LAS detergents, which is linear alkyl sulfonates, while those having branched chains are called ABS detergents, that is alkyl benzene sulfonates. An important example of ABS detergent is hard or non-biodegradable ABS detergent. It is prepared by Friedel-Crafts reaction of tetramer of propylene with benzene followed by sulfonation and neutralization with alkali. Second is cationic detergents. These are quaternary ammonium salt containing one or more long chain alkyl groups. These are also called invert soaps because their surface activity is due to the positive ion and not a negative ion, as in alkyl hydrogen sulfate detergents. Being more expensive than the anionic detergent, they find limited use. Besides being good cleansing agents, they possess germicidal properties and therefore they are widely used as germicides in hospitals. Third, non-ionic detergent. These are esters of high molecular mass alcohols obtained by reaction between polyethylene glycol and stearic acid. This may also be obtained from long-chain alcohols by treatment with excess of ethylene oxide in presence of a base. Like alkyl sulfates, carbon and also biodegradable. Hydrogen bonding to the numerous oxygen atoms makes the polyether end of the molecule water soluble. Alternatively, the ethoxylates can be converted into sulfates and used in the form of their sodium salt. Some liquid dishwashing detergents are of non-ionic type. Composition of a detergent cake. A cake of detergent contains about 20% of active detergents and an equal amount of sodium sulfate to make up the bulk of the powder. A further 30 to 50% of sodium tripolyphosphate or STPP is added as an additive. It coordinates with Ca2 positive and Mg2 positive ions present in hard water and thus enhances the cleansing efficiency of the detergent. Other ingredients include sodium perborate, which acts as a bleaching agent, some optical brightness of fluorescence, organic compounds which make yellow clothes appear white, and some foaming agents. Detergent pollution. Detergents having branched chain hydrocarbon chain cause pollution in rivers and other waterways. The reason being that side chains stop bacteria from attacking and breaking the chains. This results in slow degradation of detergent molecule leading to their accumulation. Since unbranched chains are more prone to attack by bacteria, therefore is most of the detergent used these days the branching is kept to a minimum so that the detergent become easily biodegradable and pollution is prevented. The second serious environmental problem is caused by phosphate additives STPP, which are discharged into rivers and lakes from sewage system. As such, phosphate is not a pollutant but is actually a fertilizer. This excess of phosphates promotes the growth of water plant which in turn deplete the water of available oxygen for fish and other aquatic animals. As a result of want of oxygen, water animals die and root. In other words, lakes become full of dead animals and vegetation and hence ceases to act as a source of potable water. In view of these environmental hazards, governments of many countries have passed a law to reduce the use of phosphate additives in detergents to mitigate this source of pollution. Cleansing action of soaps and detergents. All the soaps and detergents contain two characteristic groups, a water soluble hydrophilic group and an oil soluble lyophilic or lipophilic group. As a result, one end of the molecule of a soap or detergent tends to go into oil phase and other ends tends to go into the water phase with the net result that the material concentrates at the surface of the solution or interface. The dirt is generally held to a dirty surface by a thin film of an oil or grease when the dirty surface is treated with soap solution. The nonpolar hydrocarbon chain of the soap or detergent dissolves in oil or grease and the carboxylate group of the soap or the sulfonate group of the synthetic detergent is held by surrounding water. This lowers the surface tension between water and grease. As a result, a stable emulsion of oil in water is formed. When the surface or the cloth is mechanically scrubbed, the loosened dirt particles are adsorbed by colloidal soap or detergent particle and ultimately washed away.